idea what this video is going to be about. So let me think for a little bit and get back to you in a minute. Eureka! Okay, I figured out what this video is going to be about. It's going to be about why math is made of awesome. So, one of the first things that's really awesome about math is the number slash non-number infinity. Remember that game that you probably used to play with one of your siblings or friends, like, oh yeah you did, yeah huh, times infinity. Well then, times double infinity. That's what's super cool about infinity, is that it doesn't really exist as a number except in theory. That's why you can't divide by 0. Because when you divide, let's say 8 by 0, the number approaches infinity, but it never really gets there because infinity doesn't really exist. It exists in this class of numbers called hyperreals. Another reason that infinity is so awesome is that when you use infinity in basic math or algebra, you come up with statements like 1 equals infinity or 0 equals infinity, and we all know that that isn't true. Infinity is equal to infinity and nothing else. The only exception to that rule is that if you have, let's say, 1 plus infinity, it still equals infinity, or infinity times infinity still equals infinity, or infinity to the 1,000,000th power still equals infinity. Infinity plus a googolplex, which I'll talk about later, is still infinity. I know, it blows your mind. That's why it's awesome. I don't know about you guys, but this one definitely blew my mind. But I'm not the one that came up with this. I'm not the one that originally posted a video about it, but 0.99999999999 repeating infinity times is equal to 1. And Byheart is the one that did an original proof to this. She did, I believe, 10 proofs. Anyway, I'll have the link in the doobly-doo. Another reason that math is really awesome is that it shows up in nature. And I know that's kind of hard to believe, and it's kind of confusing, so I think I'm gonna explain it in another video, but if you want to find out sooner, just look up Fibonacci and Lucas numbers. Okay, so one of my favorite parts about math is calculus. Calculus is one of those things that if you're in a calculus class, especially a higher calculus class like Calc 4B, which is what it's called at the college I'm going to next year, then you're a force to be reckoned with. But really, some of the concepts in calculus are very easy, like the concept of a limit. As a certain function approaches infinity or approaches 0, it has a limit. And for example, as x plus 2 approaches 2, as x approaches 2 in the equation x plus 2, the limit is 4. Of course, it can get more complicated as you get into the higher math classes and the higher calculus classes, but this is what you start off with. And ever since you were in 2nd grade learning how to multiply and divide, or whatever 2nd graders learn now, I'm not really sure, but you've been progressing slowly, and that's what calculus does. It just ramps up the speed a little bit, and if you're not used to understanding big concepts, and if you're stuck in this world, this little tiny box of algebra and regular basic math, then you'll never be able to understand calculus. Other than that, if you're looking for something interesting to learn in math, then I highly suggest that you take calculus. This is going to be the final reason I give on this video, but there are infinitely more reasons. That's math pun. Nerd jokes, nerd jokes, nerd jokes. Okay, so my final reason that I think that math is made of awesome is a Googleplex. A Googleplex is a number that was simply designed to design a number that nobody could even comprehend how big it was. Now, let me remind you, a Google is 10 to the 100. That's 1 with 100 zeros after it. But a Googleplex is 1 with a Google zeros after it. So that's 10 to the 10th to the 100th. Now, a Googleplex was designed to make us think. Think about how big infinity is, think about how big the universe is. All of the particles in the universe are calculated to be less than a Googleplex. And just to give you some perspective around my room here, okay, this is a fairly good sized room. About how many pieces of rice do you think could fit in this room? Now, it's probably about in the billions. A billion doesn't even scratch the surface of a Googleplex. So that's what a Googleplex is all about, and that's what infinity is all about. And I love mathematics, and I hope that after watching this video you can come to love mathematics too. Bye!